Greetings from quarantine, and welcome back to CLCTV. The past few weeks have seen new developments in the great pandemic of our lifetime. From toilet paper shortages to online school, it seems that COVID 19 is disrupting normal life on every level. However, we at CLCTV are dedicated to bringing you content during this trying time. Schools all around the country have closed their doors and had students open their laptops as the pandemic has altered how we deliver education. However, the students of CLC have more than just their classes to think about during such an unfamiliar situation. Richard Hartung has more on this.
With CLC being shut down due to COVID-19, I talked with CLC counselor Susie Karsnia about issues students might be having right now.
A student might talk to me about what's going on with classes, and if they were in the classroom before and now with COVID-19, now they're all online and that's not what they signed up for. I would definitely have that conversation with them and find out what it is that is not going well. Is it Wi-Fi? Is it technology? Is it just the anxiety of doing something new and different, and it wasn't what they signed up for? The foundation, actually, the CLC Foundation actually owns our on-campus housing, and so they've worked something out with students. Eric Hepner, our student life director, has been great about updating a resource guide for during COVID-19 with food sources, housing sources, insurance, unemployment insurance, and other ways to get some of the resources that students might need during this time.
Many issues have risen due to COVID-19. Here are some ways to reduce your stress during this pandemic.
Getting outside and being part of nature actually is a big stress reliever in and of itself. Minimizing the social media, the watching about what's going on around you. I mean, it can become overwhelming if you're watching it 24/7. Eating healthy and keeping a routine, which means sleeping, still trying to sleep normal hours, and that routine of getting up at the same time every day, and still eating regular meals. Those are all tips that I've heard consistently on just about every little bit of research and resource that's out there around coping with COVID-19.
The students aren't the only ones who have had to adapt to the evolving situation. The administration of CLC has been working around the clock for over a month to make sure their students receive the education they signed up for. Stormy Ebel talked to CLC Dean of Enrollment Management, Paul Preemsberger, about their plans moving forward.
With the pandemic widespread, there is no doubt that online learning is the best option for students at this time. While much of this was unforeseen, CLC instructors are doing their best to teach through alternate delivery methods, such as D2L, Zoom, etc.
I think we've all been very impressed with students' adaptability in terms of moving face-to-face classes to online. I think they recognize that that's just kind of the space we're in right now. And I think faculty and staff have been very adaptable as well, really willing to make this transition to kind of an online learning environment.
The remaining staff and administration are hard at work too, planning fun virtual events for students, determining the best course of action for 2020 commencement, and so on.
Moved all of our registration online, but the nice thing about that is when I say that, I mean they can talk with somebody face to face. Make an appointment with one of our advisors. You'll either be able to Zoom like we're doing now or just talk on the phone if you'd rather do that. But you can always connect with somebody personally, one of our experienced advisors.
According to Harris Charlier and Paul Preemsberger, administration's biggest priority is graduation. They do not know what it will look like at this time, but it'll likely be in some sort of online video format.
Graduation ceremonies, I believe that we're working on something, the commencement committee is working on some sort of virtual kind of commencement in some way, shape, or form. So it's really unfortunate that we probably won't be having a face-to-face ceremony, but we certainly want to keep students and families safe, so that makes sense.
Even though the college is temporarily closed, student life is still finding ways to help and interact with students. From the food shelf to exciting new events, Gunnar Olson has more for us.
While students might be stuck inside during these trying times, CLC's student life is still up and running, trying to get the resources out to students who need them.
The food pantry is still open. It just looks a little bit different now. They can contact me, either email or by calling or texting. Let me know that they want to get access to some food. And then what we do is we put together a bag of groceries of the best stuff that we have at that moment. We just need to know that they want it, and that in most cases, they would come to campus and pick it up from the front desk. So if a student is close enough and they're in a situation where it would work better for them, or they can't get to campus, we'll find a way to make sure that they get the food.
While activities on campus might be closed, Student Life has come up with other alternative ways to keep students connected with each other.
So a lot of our events had to get canceled, and we had to try to figure out a way to still provide services and events for the students. A lot of the things we've been doing is competitions. So like right now we have the art contest going on. We have a cooking class that's going to be hopefully happening weekly. We are going to be having a gaming server so that you can join this server and you can play with students at CLC. We're just trying to figure out as many ways as possible to get students involved and to make sure all students are involved.
Even though these times are difficult right now, Student Life is still finding ways to connect and help students however they can.
Really, my best advice with this whole situation is to still do your best in your classes that you can, but also to reach out to your faculty. Obviously, not every person's situation is ideal. Not everyone has internet access, things like that. So just to reach out to make sure that your faculty knows. They're very good with working with everyone.
Students still really need community. And even though that looks different and feels different, still being to log into your classes to converse with your classmates, that's still super important. And, know that there's light at the end of the tunnel. Soon we'll be able to be back together again.
We'll be back after these messages. The pandemic has drastically changed our day-to-day behavior as we tried to prevent the spread of COVID-19. However, what societal changes will we see in the long term? I talked to sociology instructor Scott Foster to speculate on the possible outcomes of the crisis. Quarantine, unemployment, medical equipment, cases, deaths. Chances are, if you have read or watched any news media about the coronavirus pandemic, you have heard these terms thrown around. This is the most dynamic time we've seen since the 2008 recession, and we can only guess at what is to come.
Well, I think that our sense of security is going to change. Something as traditional as shaking hands, like you've heard people say, might be largely a thing of the past.
The status quo of life has been thrown off, and with an election on the horizon, the reaction of the people may have political implications.
There's this sense of morality or moralization, and we begin to judge institutions in our society, and the one you're referring to, the political institution, and has it met our needs?
The best we can hope for is that things change for the better.
I think that at least a hope is that we become more communal.
Parents have their hands full with kids at home, and with schools staying closed for the rest of the academic year, this won't change anytime soon. I talked to a CLC mother about her experience.
It's different. You're home all the time. Kids are here all the time. You don't get them up and they don't go to school. I'm not going to school. Everything is all done on computers.
And how about you, Aria? What do you think of all this?
Do you miss school?
Yeah.
That's all you gotta say?
And is there anything that you'd like to say to other parents out there who are going through what you're going through?
Stay strong, be patient, and focus on having that more quality family time while you can. Look at the positive side.
With COVID-19 ravaging our towns, cities, and local businesses, no one has gone unaffected. We have the inside scoop from our two St. Cloud locals, John Grogan and Blake Tennell, about our metropolitan neighbor to the south.
St. Cloud is a large regional city, and there's a lot you can do in this town. Unfortunately, there are a lot of places and businesses closed due to this virus, like movie theaters, the mall, a few selected stores, museums, salons, and restaurants. You can still order takeout at most sit-down restaurants or go through drive-thrus at fast food restaurants. A lot of people who work in service industries, like hairstyling, don't have jobs anymore, like my sister Nicole.
Well, it's kind of hard because, our clients are so close in contact with us, so we have to, obviously be closed because of that. When I'm shampooing someone, their face is this close to mine, so obviously that's what needed to be done to keep everyone safe. I have a baby at home, so obviously I don't want to bring anything home to her. And I feel a lot of stylists all have that feeling too. I mean, it's unfortunate because I'm not getting paid now to be off, and we're closed until May 4th. So it's a long time to be home, but on the positive note, I am home with, my baby, and so I get to spend a lot of time with her, which is really good. But yeah, I mean, it's not ideal, but it's kind of what you have to do to be safe,
There is not much people can do anymore. People are either in their houses or getting fresh air outside, trying to enjoy the spring weather.
I've been home with my baby, like I said. We try to go on a walk once a day, a couple miles. I think it's really important for people to have fresh air and to get out and not just sit inside. And while Netflix is good for a while, you can't just sit there for hours on end and just watch movies all day. I think it's good to be out and about.
While we are all feeling trapped inside our houses, we are hoping that one day this will all be over and life can go back to normal.
With COVID-19 rapidly stopping the businesses and restaurants around St. Cloud, I was able to chat with the local GM of Mongo's Grill.
Trying to stay positive in this with the crew to make sure that, they'll let the crew know that we are going to open up again. We are going to be back to normal. We're going to be grilling for the fans that love Mongols, and it's going to come. It's not going to be tomorrow, but we will be back, and we'll be back full force, and just be ready to go, and let's have some fun.
Although some businesses are still able to do delivery and pickup, most are shut down until at least the 13th of May, which is almost 2 months to be closed down for some of these hometown favorites, like the Green Mill, 7 West Tap House, Mexican Village, Cowboy Jack Saloon, the Red Carpet, and Mongo's Grill. People around St. Cloud are doing their part by social distancing and staying home, but hopefully someday soon, we'll all get back together and be outside.
We would like to mark this occasion as this was the first CLCTV newscast made completely off campus. All our reporters worked independently from their own homes. All interviews were done via video call, and I am anchoring from my own living room. Our next show will be May 7th, so make sure to tune in. We know things are rough right now, and many people are facing problems in their lives. We ask everyone to be safe, be smart, and help flatten the curve. Keep your heads up, and remember, that which does not kill us makes us stronger. This is Kieran McFadden signing off.